Okay, let's talk about the books I read this month. Hello, welcome back. It is November 2nd and Starbucks has their Christmas menu out, and oh my gosh, I know it looks really watered down, okay? I got my hair done, I had to leave my coffee in the car, it's a whole thing. Today, I got the iced gingerbread oat milk chai tea, I think, and it's actually really good. Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be going over the books I read in October and my November TBR, which is actually pretty exciting. And I think next month I'm going to start doing a TBR jar instead. I think that's a more exciting way to kind of do your TBR. I definitely did not reach the amount of books that I wanted to this month, and that's okay. We don't have to stress ourselves out and doing our whole TBR. I don't know why I put as many books as I did on my October TBR, but am I going to be doing that this month? Yes. I'm going to be putting way too many books on my November TBR, but it's fine. Okay, so first off, I'm going to be showing you guys the books I read in October. And one of the books I actually don't have with me, I read Fourth Wing this month. One of the books I actually don't have with me right now, my friend is borrowing it. I read Fourth Wing last month, and it was my first ever fantasy book. If you're interested to see my reaction to Fourth Wing, I have a video up right now. I'll put the link in the description if you haven't seen it. It's a spoiler-free review kind of thing, and it was such a good book. I loved Fourth Wing so much. It's about a girl named Violet, and she's supposed to be entered in the scribe quadrant, but Violet's mother puts her into the flyers quadrant, or the riders quadrant, which means that she has to pick a dragon. We all know what Fourth Wing is about, and if you are hesitant on reading it, just read it. Just read it, okay? I'm actually really excited because Iron Flame comes out this month, and if you think that's on my November TBR, you'd be right. Obviously, Fourth Wing was a 5-star for me. And it's actually really exciting because a lot of the books I read this month were 5 stars. I think 3 of them were 5 stars, so I'm really excited to talk about them. The next 3 books I read were actually in my most recent video, the Reading Thrillers for a Week video. I did that for a Halloween type of video, so if you haven't seen that, I'd really appreciate it if you go check it out. Obviously, that video is also spoiler-free, but anyways, let me talk about the books that I read in that video, and the first one I picked up was Silent Patient. This book was 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. I've never read anything like this before. This was actually my first thriller book. As you can see, I'm branching out into different genres besides young adult and romance. This book is about a woman named Alicia Barrington, and her life is seemingly perfect until one night she shoots her husband in the face, and basically she hasn't talked ever since. So in this story, we're following Theo, and he is a psychotherapist trying to figure out why Alicia did what she did and why she can't talk, and trying to get her to talk and all that stuff. So this book was so good. So I was a bit intimidated by this book when I first picked it up because I just thought that maybe I wouldn't understand what was going on in the story, but actually this is a very easy read, and it was really easy to follow. I could easily picture everything that was going on. There was nothing confusing about it. Everything flowed so well. And honestly, I really just loved it, hence why I gave it 5 stars. So if you are thinking about reading this, honestly, just read it. It's so good, and it just changed my perspective on a lot of things. So, and the next book I read was The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, and honestly, I didn't really enjoy this book. I'm not going to get much into this, but this book is about a woman named Casey Fletcher, and she's a recently widowed actress and trying to escape a streak of bad press. After she did the peace and quiet of her family's lake house in Vermont, armed with a pair of binoculars and several bottles of bourbon, she passes the time to blah 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 blah. So basically, Casey kind of watches them from across the lake with her binoculars, and she notices one day that the couple, Tom and Catherine Royce, are fighting, and then suddenly Catherine disappears. So this book is just kind of following the disappearance of Catherine amongst more things that they figure out later on. And I will say there was a plot twist in this that I wasn't really expecting, but then there was another plot twist that I didn't think made much sense at all. It felt very much like a horror movie plot, which is fine, but I guess for this story I was not expecting the plot to be that. I was like disappointed, and it was weird, and this book I think was way too long. There was some fluff that I didn't really, I kind of got bored. This book I gave a 2.5. I just didn't really enjoy it, and this book kind of turned me off from the author in general. Will I give Riley Sager another chance? Probably, but I don't really think I'm going to read any of his new books anytime soon. So anyway, and I also read The Housemaid this month, and I honestly really like this book. This was a 5 stars for me, and this book is about a maid. Obviously, that's in the title. This book is about a maid named Millie, and she goes to work for the Winchesters, and she starts to figure out that things aren't really as they seem, and she gets like locked in the attic where she's staying. They turn the attic into like a room, and it's really creepy looking, and then the door locks from the outside, and she realizes that like someone's locked her in there, and they kind of, that happens so often, every so often they like lock her in there. Anyway, it's like really creepy. But I listened to the audiobook for most of this, and I actually just really liked it. I thought the story was really interesting. I was always questioning who was doing what and like who really was behind all of this, and it was just such a good read, and the ending was really cool to me. I think some people think the ending is kind of weird, but like I really enjoy it. It really makes you want to read the second book. Really good. So 5 stars. So now we're going to be talking about the books that I am going to be reading in November, or try to read most of them in November. So I'm really excited to say that I'm going to an Iron Flame release party on November 7th, and I'm getting the book right at midnight. So I took the day off of work and everything to read Iron Flame. So I'm going to be reading Iron Flame and taking the whole day to read it. Hopefully I'll finish it, and I'm going to upload a reading vlog for Iron Flame. I'm so excited to read it. I'm really curious to see what happens next. The cliffhanger was intense. So excited to read that book. And also another book that I'm going to be reading next month is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I've heard so many great things about that book, and Sarah Carolla really raved about it. So I'm just super excited to read it. So that makes 2 so far on my November TBR. And also on my November TBR are these books right here. These 4 books are actually going to be in a video. And when I turn these around, maybe you might know the video I'm going to be making. So here we go. Bum, ba-da, bum. Do you know what video I'm making? Yes, these are the 4 other books that I'm going to be trying to read this month. Hopefully I can finish them, and if I don't, that's okay. So the 3rd book I have on my November TBR is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. So it says it's one of the top 100 romance novels on all time on Goodreads, and I think Alexa Ray really raves about this book. And it was one of her favorites for a very long time, and I've had this book for a really long time, so I'm actually really excited to get to it this month. I've been wanting to read it for a while, I just never really got around to it. So the back of the book says, I wanted to lose myself in the small town of Pelion, Maine. Oh, I don't know how to say that. Okay. To forget everything I left behind, the sound of rain, the blood, the coldness of a gun against my skin. Okay, I've never read the back of this. 6 months, each breath has been a reminder that I survived, and my dad didn't. I'm almost safe again, but the moment I met Archer Hale, my entire world tilts on its axis and never rights itself again. Until I trespass into his strange, silent, and isolated world, Archer communicates with no one. Yet in his whiskey-colored eyes, something intangible happens between us. There's so much more to him than just his beauty, his presence, or the way his hands communicate with me, on me. Oh. But this town is mired in secrets and betrayals, and Archer is the explosive center of it all. So much passion and so much hurt, but it's in Archer's silence that we might just find what we need to heal and to live. So, yeah, I don't know what this book's about. Okay, I'm assuming that Archer is either mute or deaf. I'm assuming maybe there was an event that occurred to Archer, and maybe that's why he can't talk, and maybe she helps find his voice? Because Archer's voice? Anyway, that sounds really cute. I think it's gonna tear me apart, to be honest with you. I think it's gonna break me. Stay tuned for the video I'm gonna release for it, and we'll see. I hope I cry. I love crying, it's great. And the 4th book I have on my November TBR is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Oh my gosh, I've heard so many great things about this. I've even heard it was being turned into a movie, but I could be wrong. The back of this book says, Liz Buxbaum has always known that Wes Bennett was not boyfriend material. You would think that her next door neighbor would be a prime candidate for her romantic comedy fantasies, but Wes has only proven himself to be a pain in the butt. Flash forward 10 years from the Great Gnome decapitation, it's Liz's senior year, a time meant to be rife with milestones, perfect for any big screen, and she needs Wes' help. Liz's forever crush, Michael, has just moved back to town, and horribly, annoyingly, he's hitting it off with Wes, meaning that if Liz wants Michael to finally notice her and hopefully be her prom date, she needs Wes. He's her in. But as Liz and Wes scheme to get Liz her magical prom moment, she's shocked to discover that she actually likes being around Wes, and as they continue to go closer, she must re-examine everything she thought she knew about love and rethink her own perception of what happily ever after should really look like. This book sounds so cute. I think it's just a cozy YA romance. I'm really excited to read this book. It sounds so cute. It sounds like it's just right up my alley. I love YA romances, so I am really excited to read this. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 5-star for me. And the sixth? I don't remember. Anyways, the next book I have on my November TBR is Magnolia Park by Jessa Hastings. I'm a really big fan of Sarah Crowley, obviously, and she loved Magnolia Parks. She talked about it so much, and she's kind of known for loving Magnolia Park. And I got the old cover because I think the old covers are so much cooler. And honestly, I have no idea what this book is about. I think at first I thought it was about a park, a Magnolia Park. Like, I thought that's what it was about. So basically the back, there's not much on the back, but it says, how many loves do you get in a lifetime? She is beautiful, self-involved, and mildly neurotic London socialite. He is Britain's most photographed bad boy who broke her heart. Magnolia Parks and BJ Ballantyne are meant to be, aren't they? So it's a romance. I literally thought it was about a park. Like, that's what I thought, and that's kind of what turned me off. But then when Sarah Crowley was talking about it, I was like, oh, maybe this is a person, not a park. I'm really excited to read this. This book might break me as well. I'm just gonna be broken this month. It's fine. And the last book I have, I'm not trying to sound like I don't want to read this. I do, but I'm scared of it. I'm so scared of it. And it's this, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. But this book is freaking huge, and the text is so small. As you probably already know, I'm reading this because of Destiny Sodwell. Let me show you what Destiny's doing to me, okay? 1 minute. See, this is what she's done to me. I got a 12-pack of Cherry Slush Alani's and this. Why? Anyways, this is the first book in the Boys of Tommen series. I'm not sure how many books there are in total, but this book is a dual perspective story about Johnny and a girl named Shannon. And I guess it's just about them and their journey through college. So the back doesn't really say too much about the story. It just says two teenagers from opposite sides of the tracks collide. Friendship, first love, rising fames, horrifying secrets, and pain all fused together in Binding 13. You know, when I first saw the cover of this and the title, I thought this book was dystopian. Archer's voice seemed like a sad romance. Better Than the Movie seemed like a cute YA. I thought Magnolia Parks was about a park. And I thought this was a dystopian book. Because doesn't Binding 13 sound like it's like dystopian? Yeah, I have this, and I'm going to be so proud of myself once I get through this, because this book is... Oh, there's songs on the back. I can't listen to music and read a book at the same time. My ADHD brain cannot do that. I have to be in complete and utter silence. 601 pages long. Anyway, this book is really long. At times like this, oh my god, I wish I had a Kindle. With these and 2 more. So 6 books I plan on reading this month. Is that it? 6? Yeah, Iron Flame, Powerless, Archer's Voice, Magnolia Parks, Better Than the Movies, Binding 13. Those are the books I plan on reading this month, a total of 6, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you've read any of these, and let me know if you like them, and also let me know if you enjoyed any of the books I read this month. I'm sure a lot of you enjoyed Fourth Wing. How did you feel about House Across the Lake? Anyways, those are all the books. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video. I'm planning 2 big videos this month, so if you want to see those, make sure you subscribe, and I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!